This time on True Blue Touring, we explore the top end.
We crossed into the NT border and quickly decided to make use of the 130 speed zones, gunning it into Katherine and then onto Darwin. 30 minutes north of Katherine, we heard a bang and decided to pull over to check it out. To our disappointment, we'd blown out the sidewall of the back right-hand side tyre, and to make matters worse, the spare tyre that we had was not in great shape after coming loose on the Gibb River Road. We got on the phone to the tyre shops in Katherine, knowing that at 4:30 the day before a public holiday, it was probably not going to be very likely we'd be able to get a tyre. After being rejected by all the tyre shops, we decided to quickly put the spare wheel on. As a last-ditch attempt, we tried to call one of the tyre places one more time, this time offering them the cold beer on the back seat as leverage, asking them to stay open for another 10 minutes, which they thankfully accepted. After limping back into Katherine, we got the tyre changed and turned back around to head north along the bushfire-lined road into the night towards Darwin.
The reason for the rush was something we had looked forward to for a long time. My mum and Gary had come to Darwin for Territory Day.
We went to Mindil Beach to enjoy the show, the highlights being the fighter jet flyover and the relentless fireworks display, which went on from about 4 o'clock in the afternoon into the early hours of the morning the following day.
After a few days to reset, we hit the road in search of Berry Springs. This place was really cool, and the Pink Donut was the perfect vessel to explore the warm waters.
From there we went on to Wangi Falls, which was an awesome spot for a quick dip, but it was a little bit chilly.
The next stop was Tajaba Falls, which was a really cool swimming spot that we had all to ourselves.
The adventure continues down the Reynolds River four-wheel drive track, which had just opened up. The main attraction of the track was Surprise Creek Falls, which was a really cool spot for a swim as well. Leaving the waterhole, we headed south on the Reynolds River track before being hit by a roadblock, which must have just fallen over given we'd just passed an oncoming car. It wasn't too hard to clear. We used the chainsaw to cut off some of the bigger limbs and then the winch to pull it out of the way.
With the tree off the track, we headed towards the Daly River bush camp. We spent 3 days trying to chase some barramundi, but it was really difficult. We tried every lure and we went pretty far down the creek to try and find some.
After the first 2 days, we disappointingly still hadn't even seen a fish. While drowning our sorrows in the campground pool, another fisherman offered us some cherubin, which are a small freshwater prawn, to use as bait, and gave us the advice to go further down the river. So the next morning we paired up with our neighbours and made the journey all the way down to Lizzie's Creek, avoiding the rock bars, sandbars and many snags throughout the river. Here we were finally able to hook on to the elusive barramundi, each catching a fish that was just over the 55 centimetre minimum. We cooked up one of them for dinner that night and it was absolutely worth all the effort.
Our next stop was back up towards Darwin at a spot called Mindil Beach. We had a couple of nights here where we watched some really good sunsets, but we didn't really catch any fish.
Good, baby, baby. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack Mr. Magic Molly Mall. I let my tape rock till my tape pop, smoking weed and bamboo, sipping on private stock. Way back when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match. Remember rapping Duke? The hard, you never thought that hip-hop would take it this far. Now I'm in the limelight cause I rhyme tight. Time to get paid, blow up like the world trade. Born sinner, the opposite of a winner. Remember when I used to eat sardines for dinner? Peace to Ron G, Brucey B, Kid Capri, Funk Master Flex, Love Bug, Star Ski. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call a crib, same number, same hood. It's all good. And if you don't know, now you know, nigga.
You know very well who you are. Don't let 'em hold you down. Reach for the stars.
From there we head to Kakadu, stopping at Hardy's Lagoon Free Camp just to break up the drive. The next morning we woke up and decided to put the boat in for a fish at the Billabong. After a few hours trolling, we did manage to catch just the one barra. Unfortunately, he was a little bit undersized, but it was a really cool little mission out there. We had a couple of our closest encounters with some crocodiles, which also gave both of us a little bit of a fright.
I was too used to packing gats and stuff. Now honeys play me close like butter play toast. From the Mississippi down to the East Coast, condos in Queens, endo for weeks. Sold out seats to hear Biggie Small speak. Living life without fear, putting 5 carats in my baby girl ear. Lunches, brunches, interviews by the pool. Considered a fool cause I dropped out of high school. Stereotypes of a black male misunderstood, and it's still all good. And if you don't know, now you know, nigga.
You know very well who you are. Don't let 'em hold you down. Reach for the stars. You had a go.
Because we hadn't seen enough crocs, our next stop was Chaos Crossing, which is the most densely populated saltwater crocs in the world. Each high tide, the crocs come to feed on the mullet and barramundi that fly over the causeway.
Big. Waking up at Kalinga Lodge, we devoured the buffet breakfast in the morning as a little treat, and then headed on to one of my favourite spots from last time, Magook or Barramundi Gorge. An easy walk in meant that we could visit the swimming hole twice, especially given that we decided to stay at the campground that night as well.
When there's a storm raging in your soul, you gotta thank God that you're still growing old. If them demons you're fighting won't go away, drop on your knees and pray. Life can get hard sometimes, I know. You gotta get up and walk straight and narrow when they're chasing you down.
The following morning, we hit the road for Gunland Falls. Similar to Magook, it hadn't been opened in over 6 years, so we were pretty excited to get up to the top and spend a few hours swimming in the falls.
The lower rock hole was our last stop in Kakadu. I did jump in the water there as I'd swum there before, so had a bit of confidence. George was a little bit more skeptical and chose to take photos from the bank instead.
Leaving Kakadu, we headed south towards Katherine, stopping over at Edith Falls, which was one that I had seen on a lot of pages saying it was unmissable. And it was definitely worth the hike.
We will all be judged the same someday. Life can get hard sometimes, I know.
We headed down to Katherine that afternoon with a big to-do list on the agenda, as we had finally sold our boat.
Our last activity was one that we hadn't planned. We noticed as we were driving into Katherine that the show was going to be on the following night. We made sure to find accommodation in town and we watched our first rodeo, which was pretty cool.
As we continued to head south, we had an amazing swim in the clear waters of Bitter Springs. We looked for Paddy in Larimer, and we also had a nice cold beer at the Daily Waters pub.
Next video, we explore the Red Centre.